Wow, raising girls. I don't know if I could raise a girl right now. To be honest, I don't know if I could raise a kid in general myself. Raising kids in general.
I don't know.
Like,
I couldn't raise a kid at all. But
yeah.
a girl would be way harder, I think.
I think your thought is going to change if you have a daughter.
Okay, I hope so. To be honest. Yeah. Hey, Robert, we got two expert parents here. We're ready to have kids, so they're gonna help us out. So
let's pump the brakes, all right? Like I'm like just mentioning that was enough for me to be like, all right, I think we're going too fast here.
Hey there. Welcome to the Gluten-Free Organic Thoughts podcast, where you are encouraged to express your natural thoughts and views through casual, meaningful conversations that hopefully can lead to learning and understanding new perspectives. To find out more info, visit www.gfOThoughts.com. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Wong and Robert Din. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Gluten-Free Organic Thought Podcast. My name is Michael Wong, and always with me, Robert Din.
Hey guys, how's it going? We have a couple guests on today. We have Alissa, who's been on before for our girls group. Alissa, how's it going?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, and we have Lily on, who's a brand new guest. First timer. Lily's one of my coworkers. So she's gonna come on. Today we're gonna talk about having kids during COVID and how that whole situation is. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't even take care of myself during COVID, let alone have a kid.
My point exactly. I was saying the same exact thing. All right. So before we get started, what are we drinking tonight? Lily, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'm having kombucha.
What kind of kombucha?
It's palm flavor.
Palm.
Body probiotic tea.
What is palm flavor? Oh, pomegranate.
Pomegranate.
Typical SF drink. You know?
Yeah. I don't like kombucha at all. Like I feel like it just tastes bad.
Why is that?
It just tastes bad to me.
Too healthy for you?
Probably. Everything healthy.
Probiotics.
Too sober.
Yeah. No good.
No, some kombucha does have alcohol in it.
Yeah, some do. Yeah.
One has. Yeah.
Maybe you should try those, Robert.
No, none of them. I don't like any of them. It's like beer. Like I just don't like the whole sector.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Alissa, what are you drinking?
Actually coffee from this morning.
Coffee? What time is it?
This morning.
I walked over, there's some left. I'm like, I need this.
I still have coffee from this morning too. I haven't finished either. But today I'm drinking I think this is the same bottle as last time. It is Schramsberg.
Yeah.
That I'm drinking.
You gonna finish that today?
I don't know. Maybe I should. Like it's 2 episodes in, so I probably should. It's gonna go bad for the next one.
Right. All right. So I'm having matcha mushroom latte, I guess, because I added coconut whipped cream in it with a little bit of oat milk. So
Mike, what happened to Clear Cup?
I actually returned it because it had a crack in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I mean, I was supposed to. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm supposed to get a Clear Cup because they think I'm lying when I'm drinking half of the time. Because
every day he brings the same cup and then he changes up what's in it, but no one knows. Like you can't tell.
So I bought a nice, actually like a very nice one of those clear cup, but that can retain heat and cold at the same time. But when it came in, when I opened it, it had a giant crack in it, so I had to return it. So actually, the new one's supposed to be arriving tomorrow. So. Yeah. All
right, well, let's hope. We'll see. We'll see what happens next episode. Another crack happens.
I hope not. All right, so let's kick this episode up. So both of our guests had babies last year, and congrats. Hopefully with the twins, we'll find out soon, or triplets. Who knows, right? So Lily, you want to share your background a little bit, and just to give a little bit of background on who you are for folks who haven't met you, and then let us know when you had your baby and your story.
Sure. My name's Lily. I actually came to the States back in the late 2012 for grad school. I spent a couple of years in LA and moved to Bay Area in 2018. I had my baby on January 8th, 2020. That was actually right before the pandemic and everything starts. now it's 3 of us living in a small apartment in downtown San Francisco.
So you have 1 kid, right? You have 1 kid. Okay.
I have 1 kid.
Just 1. No twins, no triplets.
No.
So let me ask you this. So at that time, I guess the pandemic never really hit yet. There was no official announcement, right? At that point?
Yeah, there was no official announcement in the US yet. But there was already like a rumor back in China because my parents, they're still living in China.
Okay.
But back at that time they were here with me, just of course to help take care of baby and take just with the baby.
Okay.
But like they still have a bunch of relatives were living in China when the pandemic hit China. So I was really worried during especially towards the end of January, because both my grandparents and my husband's grandparents, they're like at-risk people. So
okay.
I do
in the States?
feel it.
Were they in the States at that point? They were in the States, right?
Yeah, you mean me?
God, no, I mean, so they were in the United States, right? I'm guessing.
No, her grandparents are in China.
No, my grandparents
were
back in China. Yeah, they were in China. Yeah.
Got it. And your husband was in China too, or was in the United States at that point?
No, he's here. He's here.
Okay,
I met him in grad school. He's here.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure your husband was traveling or not. That's why I was just wondering.
Nah.
So at that time, I guess in January, China already shut down already. I think January, wasn't that at that time?
Yeah, China shut down in the end of January. Yeah.
At the end of January. That means your parents were already in the States at that time, helping you.
Yeah, they came here in early December. Like back then, nobody knew what's gonna happen.
So did they get stuck in the States?
Yeah, they were stuck here for actually 10 months.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit about that experience, but
wow, they're here for 10 months. That's a long time.
Yeah, 10 months.
So at that time, obviously, so by the time March came around, when the shutdown happened in the States, so your baby was already 3 months old, right?
Correct.
So were you concerned, anything like that, or at that time it didn't matter because you were home already, no matter what, to try to recover, all the things like that. So like, did a lot of things change for you? Just wondering from that, not only from a job perspective, from just a lifestyle.
I think lifestyle definitely, for sure. I think if you're thinking from a logical perspective, there shouldn't be a lot of things changing for me because I was gonna do what I was doing anyways because the baby is still like really, really young. I need to take care of her. But from like a psychological standpoint, I was really panicking because it was very different than what I was expecting after my child was born. I was expecting to be able to take her to zoos, to parks, to meet people, meet all my friends, where she actually didn't get a chance to see Alissa or Rob until she was about like 4 or 5 months old. And at a social distance. Yeah. And she was like under a ring cover. Like none of those were what I was expecting. So, you know, like people's emotion is all about what's your expectation and what's the reality. So that hit me really hard.
That's the good question. I mean, that's a good statement because what is the expectation versus reality is a huge thing. And I, you know, so it's not so like for you. So your biggest surprise was like the mental piece of it. That's what it sounds like.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. And Alissa, to your story, I think you had your baby a little bit later, right? So tell us a bit about your background for those folks who hasn't, heard about you, and I guess a little bit about yourself, and then.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Alissa. I used to work with Lily and Rob, and that's how I got introduced to this awesome channel. And also Lily and I had an overlap pregnancy, so we stuck through it together. It was really great to have a coworker.
You share knowledge, I'm guessing.
All the time, and she always watched what I eat because I never really.
But she watched what you eat.
Yes, very much so. Like Lily was about 3 months ahead of me, so she's always like telling me that, hey, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because I'm not the most careful person in the world. I'm so glad that she was there to watch out for me. And I gave birth to my baby last April, which is the month after the pandemic started. The pandemic and the shutdown started.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a very crazy world because, like I said, I was a very carefree, careless mom, pregnant lady. But baby was born, right in the middle of pandemic, and coming out of the hospital, the entire world has changed. So to me, there was a very long time that I was very confused. Like has my life changed so much because of the pandemic, or is it because of the new baby?
So you don't know. It's like you couldn't tell the difference yet at that point.
Yeah, and with all the hormonal change postpartum, it's like the world just turned upside down for me. So I've come out of that now, but it was just a very long recovery period for postpartum because everything happened during the pandemic.
There's that additional stress that's in there.
Yeah. So I guess, going into before April, right? You know you're going to be due soon, and you already knew that those shutdown happened already. So I guess did your doctor or prep you enough? Hey, we cannot have guests. Set the expectation correctly already. If you're due, this is what your procedure are. Did they help you out, lay out the I guess the steps to go to make sure that if you get ready to give birth, this is what you should line up? Did they help you at least with that?
Yeah, so yes and no. So the yes part is that I have a great gynecologist and an OB, and I had a great hospital.
Yeah.
But then again, at that time, everything is changing because that was the start of the pandemic. Like policy,
so rules keep changing. Yeah.
So they didn't know yet. Yeah.
They didn't know yet. Correct.
Yeah. So 1 week before my due date, we learned that actually not even 1 week, maybe just a couple of days before my due date, we learned that the hospital now only allows the expecting mom only to go into the hospital, to go into delivery room. No dad, like just one person.
Jesus.
But,
what?
Yeah, that was the
rule
at my hospital. But we were very lucky because a couple of weeks later they changed the rule, so there could be one extra person to be in there besides the mom. So that was very lucky. I cannot imagine just being in a hospital all by myself.
Yeah. So I had a friend who also had a baby on May 1st, and literally during the middle of the pandemic, and then every time the husband had left the hospital and come back in, he had to take a COVID test, and every time he went back in the hospital because obviously he went back home to bring stuff, things like that. So he had to take a COVID test. I mean, this is in Florida too, so keep this in mind how loose Florida is back then.
Wow.
But the hospital was still locked down, just like in SF though. So they took care of that very seriously. So yeah. So let me ask you this, Alissa. Now, obviously, once you had the baby, coming out of it, what was your I guess you mentioned that your reaction to that was a little bit, took a while to kind of balance that a little bit to see what your life changed a little bit here and there. So what was, I guess, what eventually kind of got you out of the funk?
I would say it's I started a new job. So I wasn't working for about 6 months after baby was born.
Yep.
And then after that, and I started taking up a job, and job kept me busy and kind of kept me in touch with real life, with other people. You just talk about your baby. So that got me outside of that little bubble. It's like, oh, this is all there is in life. Like there's actually much more going on out there. So I would say ultimately that's what got me out and get to see the real world again.
Gotcha. But so it sounds like you went to a similar mental struggleness in a sense of that mental, and not necessarily a breakdown, more like mental stage where you had to kind of fight it a little bit because because you were isolated, right, at the same time. And so Lily and Elizabeth, so when your babies meet for the first time?
I think what was that, Alissa? Was that May or June?
I want to say it was June. We were talking about like at the park with two other
at the park,
babies. Yeah, I want to say it was
June, right? Yeah.
So what gave you guys that confidence to start socializing your babies? Just wondering. Like we're in the middle of the pandemic. Just wondering. Like I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, you're in the middle of the pandemic. You're not scared that you're gonna get COVID?
Go ahead, Lisa.
I think at least one thing is that I've known Lily for a long time, and as parents to newborns, I know most parents to newborns are extra careful about all the precautions, all the sanitary rules around baby and just around going out. And we met out at an outdoor place, so that makes me feel a lot safer. And also during that time, as much as I want to hold Lily's baby, as much as I know that she would probably want to hold my baby, like we kind of kept it at a minimum. You can
so you cut that, so you can't touch my baby.
No touching, and all the adults were wearing masks. I think
okay. So what if you have to save baby, but the babies crawl away? You have to touch the baby,
No, they're in strollers, right?
Oh, they're strollers.
Yeah, they're in strollers.
Sorry,
you're gonna let them like run around in the grass or whatever? I don't know.
I thought they were crawling around. I don't know. I don't know how baby works. I don't have a baby. I don't know how they work.
And also back then, Chloe was still very young, and Emma is always a little bit behind in gross motor skill. So if you put her on the grass, she'll just sit there forever.
See, so there's no worry that she's gonna run away.
So it was you. So it was you two and two other people. You say, or was it you two and somebody else?
The two of us and the one other baby.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's like 3 babies get together, and also like for my reason is Alissa and Bob knew me for a long time. They knew I was a little bit paranoid, and I still wipe down all my groceries.
Even now,
too.
Even now, yes,
Yeah.
even now. 'Cause I have a baby who's not vaccinated. And as Alissa said, we met an outdoor place, and also I feel our kids are growing up. They need to socialize.
Of course.
It is more scary for them to now to see other people in the real world than the risk of getting COVID.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. And no, the reason why I was asking that's because I know in California that lockdown was way much harder than it is, because I'm in Florida, so it's a little bit different, right? So it's a little bit more loose. But and I know that certain folks are obviously you guys are in a smaller circle, therefore that trust is there, right? So like I guess you guys didn't hire a nanny anytime during that time, right? Between this pandemic, you guys didn't hire a nanny, anything like that at all, or like a au pair? None of you guys did. So you guys took.
Not at all.
I mean, Lily's parents were still there, right? For 10 months.
Yeah, they were stuck here.
So
Gotcha. Gotcha. And so now, let me ask you this. So now, your babies get sick during the middle of the pandemic. Like some babies, especially newborn, they get ear infections or they get a little bit of a cold, things like that. Like, do you guys have encountered that experience during the middle of the pandemic?
So for Emma, like her issue is she had eczema since she was 4 months old. Alissa and Rob both know this. It was like they called moderate, but I think it's pretty severe. She when there's a flare up, she's like turned all red and itchy. It was a little bit hard because initially maybe it's just deep down inside I refuse to categorize as disease. I just try to think that's like what people get, that's what baby get when they're young. Yeah. Because their immune system or other things. But I would just say like it's always hard for parents to see baby get sick. Pandemic or not, it's always hard for parents to see that because you always wish you could suffer for them instead of yeah.
So, but I mean, I guess to a point, you didn't have to take it to like urgent care, right? At least, hopefully, right?
Not urgent. We actually went to the after-hour urgent care one time because her flare-up was really, really bad, and there was like yellowish pussy goes out of her leg. Gotcha. So we were a little bit worried. We did take her to the urgent care once, but that was like a pediatric urgent care. Got it. So it's not like a general.
It's not like an emergency, so you didn't have to worry about the whole COVID situation. In a sense,
no, I wasn't. I wasn't too worried about that. And also, we went to a pretty big hospital, and they have like very specific rules. And only one parent is allowed.
Gotcha. So they kind of make sure that take the precautions to isolate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see. How about you, Alissa? Did your baby get sick during pandemic time?
Luckily, no.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll keep it at that. Knock on wood.
Knock on the wood.
Yeah. So luckily, my baby didn't get sick at all during the whole pandemic period thus far. But we did have to skip her 9 months visits because it's a new hospital, a new pediatrician. When I called, they told me that they just sent a staff who was COVID positive home the very same day. So it was January this year. So I canceled the appointment right away. Like I don't care if she's a little bit behind on her vaccine. Like I just want to make sure that she's not exposed to that kind of environment.
Gotcha.
How often does the baby have to go? Do you have to take the baby into the doctor? Like
3 months.
Every 3 months?
Every month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every month until they're, I think, 3 months old, right, Lisa? I think every pediatrician is a little bit different, but that's generally like the older they get, the less frequent they go to doctors.
So the first 3 months you go once a month, and then you go every 3 months after?
Correct.
And then how many vaccines did the baby get within the first year?
Oh,
I lost count. It's a long vaccination card.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot. I guess it makes sense, especially like when the baby is just newborn, so they're building that immune system up, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a long vaccination card.
It's at least a dozen shots, and each shot could be multiple vaccines in it.
Correct.
So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
wow. So then, Lily, has your baby react to any vaccination? Just wondering.
She hasn't until I think 2 months ago. Okay. I took her to her like 1 month ago, 15-month-old check. She had the varicella. That was for chickenpox.
Yeah.
She had she had like a couple kind of weird reaction that I think is related to vaccination, but there's no way to tell because she didn't really have any reaction until a week later. I started to find out there's like blood in her snot.
Oh, when she sneezed.
Ooh. Yes. Okay. It was a little bit scary, and it was there for like 3 days. I think it was related to the chickenpox vaccine, but doctor said it's a possibility, but they're not sure.
Gotcha. So did that eventually went away? I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it went away after another week. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you call the doctor, or like did you do any like virtual telemedicine?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I'm the paranoid type. I think every new parent is. Yeah. I message doctor all the time for the smallest thing, and they were being so patient.
Do you have the text? Do you have the personal phone? You text them?
No, they're gonna be so annoyed. So they just we have a portal, so I just send them the message. They said it could take 3 days, but they always get back to me within 2 hours.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
So this is the Teta Portal Health where you guys can leave a message for the doctor and they answer it.
Correct.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. How about you, Alissa? Did your baby react to any kind of those vaccine yet?
Not until recently. But we just call up our pediatrician. They're great. Like Alissa said, like they would just respond within hours. With like even if it's after hours, it's really great to have that kind of support.
Gotcha. So wait, do both of you have boys or girls? So I forgot to ask that earlier.
Girls.
Nice. Okay. Wow. Raising girls. I don't know if I could raise a girl right now, to be honest. I don't know if I could raise a kid in general myself. Raising kids in general.
I don't know. I couldn't raise a kid at all. But a girl would be way harder, I think.
Way harder, I agree too. I mean, from a guy perspective.
I think your thought is gonna change if you have a daughter.
Okay, I hope so. To be honest, hey Robert, we got 2 expert parents here. We're ready to have kids, so they're gonna help us out. So
let's pump the brakes, all right? Like I'm like just mentioning that was enough for me to be like, all right, I think we're going too fast here.
Well, all right. So so now maybe question for both of you. So when you guys, I guess. Obviously, before giving birth, right? What was the one challenging thing that you had to convince your husband to do? I'm just curious. Like, because some husbands refuse to do certain things. Like, for example, like I know a story. I know a guy. I'm gonna say who. He refused to change diapers. He's
talking about himself.
Is that Rob?
It's also me. That is me. I told everyone who knows, like everyone who knows me, I'm like, yeah, I will take care of the kids. Like, as long as it's potty trained, I don't do diapers.
I'm just wondering, like, what's one thing that you guys had to kind of overcome that to push the husband to do something? I'm just curious.
I'll go first. Everything you just got to push. And I think, like for women, because they are pregnant with a baby for 9 months, so the expectations building up, and it's so real because the baby is in your tummy. Yeah. For guys, oh yeah, my wife is expecting. He sees the body shape change, but that's about it. Like there's it's very hard for them to accept that baby is coming. Until baby is really there. They are usually, I think, in most cases, men are way, way, way less prepared than the women. But so, in my case, I just push my husband to do it. I'm sorry, like the two people.
So like, was it a last, like for example, was that a last minute to prepare the baby room, or you guys already planned that ahead of time, like already ready to go? Or was it something like more like, okay, the reality didn't really set until the baby arrived, in a sense?
So like obviously we purchased everything, like set up the baby. It wasn't even a baby room because we used to live in a tiny apartment in San Francisco. So it was
a baby corner.
Exactly, baby corner. So we set up baby corner. We got the stroller, we got the car seat and whatnot. But like all those, I don't think really mentally prepares my husband for it, at least. Like it wasn't until the baby's that like likewise with me, I would say, you know, it's my first baby. I don't know what it's like to be living with a baby, taking care of a baby. I know that, they're going to be crying, they're going to be pooping, they need to eat. That's all I know. What I didn't know was the level of attention that they actually need. It requires. Yeah. So, you know, it's new for both of us. You know, I think as moms, you got a hormone going. So you have the mother's instinct that come from the hormone, come from having been with a baby for 9 months, while your husband don't. So, you know,
it's a physical impact to your body that you recognize as well, right? Because not only you're giving birth, you're also breastfeeding the baby. So it's a physical impact. So therefore, for you, your reality already hit.
Yes. Yeah. It's been there for 9 months rather than, you know, it hasn't really.
Gotcha.
Interesting. And you can tell the difference between Mike, who doesn't know anything about having kids, and he's like, what, did he not prepare the baby crib or something? Like that's like the biggest problem he thought was
I thought that was the biggest problem. I don't know.
I didn't know what to expect either. Like I was the same mindset.
How about you, Lily?
I think for me, actually, I think my husband did really good before my baby was born. I think the only thing I could complain is probably his driving. I had
driving to the hospital, or just driving in general?
No, just driving in general. Because
is it too aggressive or not aggressive enough?
I wouldn't see. To be honest, we came from LA, so it's not aggressive in LA.
Yeah, LA's crazy. I lived in LA, so I know how it is.
So, like in LA standard, that was just normal, and sometimes even pretty polite. But when I was pregnant, Rob and Alissa probably know this. I was like throwing up for about like 3 or 4 months. Literally a smallest bump on the road, it would just make me want to throw up.
What triggered that? Oh wow.
Exactly. So I think, but then I think initially my husband, he doesn't understand. Like he knew I was not comfortable, but he doesn't understand I was that uncomfortable. So but gradually I think he changed. To be honest, I think that's the only thing I could think of to complain.
Did you have to pick a few times to prove him, hey, I can get sick?
You throw up on him a couple of times.
Yeah, you have to throw a couple of times in the car to make sure. Listen, hey, can you drive?
No, it's for real.
It's not. Yeah, because he doesn't know like what type of, it's like too fast, too slow, or too bumpy, or like left turn, right turn. Yeah.
Can you drive when you're pregnant?
Good question. Initially, when I was first pregnant, I was like, you know what? I can do everything. I don't have a baby bump yet. People can't even tell if I don't tell them I'm pregnant. Okay. Then I think around like 10 or 12 weeks, I was like, everything makes me want to throw up.
So you couldn't drive?
I can't drive. I got so dizzy behind wheels.
So Alissa, was your experience a bit different for you? Just wondering.
Yeah, it's quite different. Like I mentioned earlier, like Lydia watched everything that I did, and I think now I know why. I had a very, very smooth pregnancy. Like I didn't feel like I was pregnant until probably the last couple of weeks when baby was really kicking me. I was going to most of my doctor's appointment by myself, taking a
drove
bus.
Yourself? Oh, taking the bus.
I take the bus, or actually one of my last prenatal yoga, I just walk over there in like 30 minutes. Like I enjoy walking.
You walk 30 minutes?
I walk like I said, like I was very lucky. I had a very smooth pregnancy, but not
that's a workout, by the way.
30 minutes.
Baby walking 30 minutes. Baby, imagine you carry a baby, you walk for 30 minutes. That's a workout.
Yeah. Oh, and it's through Tenderloin, guys. But there was still daylight outside. It wasn't. I don't know why I did that.
So for those who don't know what Tenderloin is, can you explain that little environment a little bit?
It's a very interesting neighborhood in San Francisco. You would want only if you are going to, go through Tenderloin, better go with somebody and better go in broad daylight. is my recommendation.
It's a little bit dangerous.
It's a sketchy area. It's like the sketchiest area we have. And you walked there pregnant to go to your appointment. That's crazy.
I would say I did pigtail somebody. Like I pick somebody who looks kind of decent, and I make sure that I walk very closely behind that guy. So in case something happened, I'm just gonna hold on, like run over and
you push him first, and then you run. That's
or something like that. Just have a imaginary bodyguard was my strategy.
All right. So speaking of pregnancy, in a sense, your body is. Did you guys eat whatever you wanted to a certain degree at first, and then you realize, oh no, I cannot eat this? I'm just curious, because I heard that people go through different craving during pregnancy time. People eat differently ish. So just wondering, Lily, how was your eating habits in the beginning, and then how did that change?
Sorry, that was my alarm. I didn't really have special cravings. It's just like I wasn't initially, like the first 2-3 months, I can't really eat anything because I throw up, especially carrots. My mom
carrots. Wait, carrots.
Yeah, carrots.
Man, the baby must hate carrots.
Yeah, she loves carrots. I didn't know why. Especially like my mom. My mom was like being pretty stubborn, and she's like, carrots is good for you and good for the baby. If you don't eat carrots, and then when the baby's born, she wouldn't like carrots. And she refused to believe like I throw up just because carrots.
Or
so she wait, did you show her hey, let me eat a carrot, let me puke for you?
Oh, you know what? That actually happened because she was making dumplings, right? And I told her I don't eat carrots. Carrots makes me throw up. I tried because I love carrots before I was pregnant.
Of course. I
tried steamed, stir fried. I tried the baby carrots, and I even tried chopped with noodle, everything. Mm-hmm. But nothing works. My mom refused to believe it, and she chopped the carrots to really, really tiny piece. I couldn't see it, and it was in dumplings, right? And it was mixed with beef and everything. I cannot see it. I cannot taste it. But after half an hour ish, I just throw up.
Wow.
Wait. So how
she just put a little tiny piece inside of one of the
I cannot see it because inside dumplings, right? I just and she makes really tiny dumpling. I would just eat one,
but
and that's it. I wouldn't just.
How'd you find out there was carrots in there though?
Because when I throw up, carrots is everything I saw. I don't know why the beef is fully digested. When I throw up, it's only carrots.
So when you threw up was only carrot pieces. Wow, that's crazy.
Exactly. It was crazy.
Your body just filtered that out. Nope, no carrots entering this body.
But your baby loves carrots now.
I wouldn't say she loves it, but she doesn't hate it.
She doesn't hate it.
All right.
Yeah.
How about you, Alissa? Did you have any craving, especially like that, or did you just eat anything you want until Lily said, "Hey, no, don't eat that"?
I definitely ate everything that I want until one day I ate a Jimmy John sandwich with raw bean sprouts in there, and that's a no. You don't eat raw food. And I ate that.
You can't eat sushi, so you can't eat sushi. You can't eat raw food at all.
I still went to sushi places and only picked the fully cooked stuff.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the day that I ate Jimmy John's was the day when Lily wasn't there. Had Lily been there, I wouldn't have gone.
I was wondering how did that happen.
See, Lily's like, oh my god, I can't believe she ran away and hid from her that one day just to get.
Can't believe it.
I love Jimmy John sandwiches. They're good. I guess you cannot eat raw vegetable in general. That's what it is, right? Or is it?
Yeah, you shouldn't because there could be what is it, salmonella and
blisters.
Lister.
So every vegetable. So you cannot eat a salad. Also, every vegetable has to be cooked. Okay.
Avoid as much as you can.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't drink a veggie smoothie or anything like that either, then?
Actually,
how does that work? How does that work with fruits? I'm just wondering. Curious.
Fruit is okay, I think, in general, especially anything that could be peeled. But Lily is the expert on this because
you just don't eat those pre-prepared. Just don't eat those already chopped.
Oh, chopped up for you, so you cut it yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
You could eat it. You could get a whole apple and just wash it and eat it, but don't eat apple slices.
So how about grapes?
I think grapes are fine as long as you buy them fresh from market or a grocery store.
You wash it, things like that.
Exactly. Okay. Don't eat the ones that's already cut in half. So.
Okay, gotcha. So this already pre-exposed to the environment. That's what you're saying. That makes sense.
Exactly.
But wait, why? Because of the salmonella or whatever, like the vat.
Yeah, because you don't know how long ago was the food prepared.
True.
You don't know the environment it was prepared.
Exactly. You don't know where it was prepared and how long ago was it prepared.
Is it true? I heard that you cannot eat so much seafood either. You're not supposed to eat that much seafood. Is that true?
That is true.
Okay.
I kept a list from FDA about the mercury content of different kinds of fish. That's the guideline that you should follow.
Yeah.
So wait, no shrimp or lobster?
Shrimp is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrimp is fine. The rule I also remember is easier to remember is like you eat smaller seafood, whichever sea life is like a little bit lower on the food chain, you can eat it. The higher, the more mercury.
So no sharks, no dolphins.
So the lower the food chain, like so pretty much anything like crab, lobster, those are okay. That's what.
That's okay. Shrimp. That is okay. You're not supposed to eat raw oysters.
Okay, that makes sense. Of course, yeah.
No,
yeah, nothing raw, right? So
yeah.
I think for fish, I think even for baby, the safest one is salmon, cod. What else? I think there's one other. I can't remember it because there are so many bones in it. I barely buy it. So,
so that makes sense. So the lower the food chain, because at that point you're not really. That makes I guess at that point they're eating more natural in a sense, right? So, that's crazy. So none of you guys had any cravings. I'm surprised. That's awesome.
Well, fried chicken, but I crave it before,
yeah.
during, or after pregnancy.
Alyssa's always on fried chicken, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, hang on. What kind of fried chicken are you talking? Are you talking about the Jollibee fried chicken? Are you talking about KFC fried chicken? What are you talking about?
Bird.
All fried chicken is.
Exactly. Alissa was known for fried chicken as like her thing.
That is awesome. That is. How do you stay in such a good shape then? I don't get that. Yeah. So,
anyway, no.
So wait, does your baby love fried chicken?
She hasn't had the pleasure to taste any fried chicken yet, so we'll see.
Is it because you eat it first before it gets to her?
Duh.
You know her too well, Rob.
I know.
There we go. So wait, at what age does a baby can have solid food? I thought it was 1 year old or less than 1 year old. I thought.
They can start to have it around 6 months.
Oh, okay. So wait, Lily, has your baby had fried chicken yet?
No.
Well, don't judge, okay? Don't judge. There was one time I peeled the fried chicken. I give her a little bit cooked chicken.
There we go. That's good. All right.
Wait, why would we judge that? Like, you should have gave her the whole fried chicken.
Yeah.
The breading is the best part.
Yeah, or give her a wing.
Yeah. Bone in and everything. Just give it to her and just let her go.
Oh my god.
So what's the rule of thumb, right? You're supposed to introduce baby solid food month 6 later, right? Little here, little stuff got here and there, right? It's like the rule of thumb. Like they just mention it, they taste on it. I think because they only have 1 tooth or 2 maybe at that time, right?
Or no tooth at all.
They don't have to.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It's like what is the rule of thumb of that? Like, is there like a certain food you could introduce first versus other food? Like, how does that work?
I know Lily prepares all the food for her daughter, so go, Lily. I just buy it from store.
Not the first ones. You're supposed to start. I think I start like a rice cereal or oat cereal for Emma. I think around she's probably 5 months old. I know some parents start kids with a little bit solid as early as 3 months old or 4 months old. Okay. I said to her like around 5 months old. So I didn't cook that, Alissa. Also buy it.
Right. Okay, you make me feel a little better about not being such a bad parent.
And this is because they don't know how to eat solid food, right? Not because 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 everything they have is liquid or like
exactly.
And so if you just give them like something solid, they'll just swallow it, right?
Yeah, but I thought it's supposed to help them work the esophagus, right? That's the whole purpose of trying to introduce.
That's true. Because the bottle feeding and spoon feeding is very different. So the first 2 months, 1 or 2 months after you give them solid, it's more like for them to get used to the form of spoon feeding instead of just bottle feeding.
Yep. So how about you, Alissa? What you had any challenges introducing solid food to the baby?
Oh my goodness, yes. So the basically we stopped wanting to have another child because how difficult it is to feed our only one, the first and only one. But it got better. I think like every baby learns at a different pace. You know, mine just didn't want to take food at a younger age. She's caught up. Like there are definitely bad days, but you know, you just have to go with the kid's pace rather than yours.
Was it the stuff you're giving her, or was it just like she just didn't want to be chewing?
Who knows? You know, she likes apple today. She doesn't like apple tomorrow. She, you know, you can't predict. Like they don't talk. You can't really understand what they're thinking. You just have to go with them.
Actually, speaking of talking, I do want to ask this question. I know some babies, some parents start teaching babies some sign languages, like this is more, something like that, and teach them how to give more. And I think they teach them how to say water or something like that, or like little sign languages here and there. Have you guys thought about that, or do you guys want to know any parents that taught babies some sign languages and how that worked out? I'm just curious because I know some parents have looked into that, and it's hard, obviously, but it's a way of getting baby to communicate before they start talking, right?
Lisa, do you want to try this?
So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like a bad parent, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So, I read a lot about, you know, things that you should do and shouldn't do with babies. So there's a website called What to Expect. I subscribe to them. They send me a bunch of articles all the time. And one time I read that, it like whether learning the sign language or not doesn't really impact the speed that baby pick up, you know, actual language, actual speaking. So I was like, forget it. She doesn't need to learn sign language. I mean, I still talk to her a lot and I teach her like bye-bye or hello or hi, that type of thing. But like, I don't really, like, I'm not so eager to, you know, have her learn certain sign language so we can communicate. To me, it's not a big deal.
Do you talk to your baby in multiple language? Obviously, there's sponges right now, right? And they're easy to, they can learn stuff really quickly. Do you talk to them in multiple language, or do you prefer one language?
Lily, so for me, so my I try to talk to her in Chinese, which is my native language, as much as possible.
Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin, because I'm a fake Cantonese. But my husband's native language is English, so oftentimes he also tried to speak to the baby in Chinese as much as possible. But
you swap back and forth in a sense.
Yes, right? Yeah,
exactly. His Chinese not that bad, Alissa. Don't say that.
No, he really tried. And his Chinese gotten better ever since we had a baby. So
that's good though. Okay.
Do you speak to her in German?
Oh yeah, right.
No. I did play a couple Cantonese anime theme song to my baby recently.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, I wanted to get exposed. I tried
that's
to.
Good. That's good though. So how about you, Lily? Do you speak a specific language or both languages?
I think majority of time is Mandarin, because both my husband and I speak Mandarin, and my parents were here like for 10 months. They only speak Mandarin. But we were at home working, so like I just noticed, like whenever we're in Zoom meetings, my daughter would listen really, really carefully.
Really?
It was as if she understands it. My parents used to make fun of her, like, yeah, that's where you see she's a true American.
Well, Alissa and Lily were both working we're both workaholics. So like while they had the baby, they were pregnant, they were working like crazy hours, and we were expecting when the baby's born that they'd just come out and just start working right away. Like that, they know all the lingo, they got everything going, they're just gonna go.
So how long do you, I guess obviously between your pregnancy and I think I give birth, how much time off do you guys end up taking? Because I know for certain parents it's different, and so like did you guys end up taking a couple months? I know in California the maternal leave is longer than the average state. So
I took 4 months off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually changed job after I gave birth to baby, so I had a total of about 6-7 months that I was completely off.
Okay, so you had a break in just because you had to switch job. Got it. So did you end up resigning your job before you got you gave birth, or or is this like, it's like?
Oh, it's after.
It's after. Gotcha. Gotcha. No, because I know certain parents like just jump back into it after month 2, especially working remotely. Like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I might as well just get back to work because they're trying to get something new into their mind, and instead of just focusing on the baby as much, it helps them kind of keep them insane. From being insane in a sense, right? So, and now, how about sleeping habits? How much sleeping habit did it ruin you guys? I'm just wondering. Like, are they only first couple months? The first 3 months, or the first 6 months?
Oh my God.
It's still happening, Michael.
Wait, it's still happening? No, it's not.
Welcome to reality, Michael.
Still happening.
Expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying right now, like, your baby's still waking up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, more a couple of times a night?
I don't want to jinx it. She's been so good this month. So I don't want to jinx it.
That's good. How about you, Alissa? It sounds like you have a hesitation there.
Yeah, because I think it was just 5 minutes ago the baby was crying in her dreams. I think my husband took care of her, but that happens.
Gotcha.
Longer than you think.
I'm checking my baby monitor right now.
But I mean, obviously you guys rotate with your husband, right? To make sure, hey, it's your turn, right, to pick the baby up,
Taking turns was a big thing during the first 3 months, because baby is they have round the clock needs, like so newborn baby. I didn't know this. Like, I know, like I mentioned, I know that the baby needs to eat, they need to poop, they need to sleep. I didn't know that they don't know how to fall asleep, and they need to eat every 3 hours. So when during baby's first 3 months, basically what happened is that, your 24 hours in a day is broken into 8 cycles. Each cycle is 3 hours, where a baby would go through wake up, want to eat, needs to be, burped, and then would need to be put to sleep. And you would need to finish all those in 3 hours. And then...
So what if you miss a cycle?
Yeah, what if you don't? What if it doesn't happen in
No
3
way,
hours?
they're gonna remind you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you cannot be late.
You don't just miss a cycle.
No,
but like, let's
you're
say,
gonna regret.
but you said you have to teach them. You have to show, like, put them to sleep, right? What if you don't put them to sleep? They just cry.
You're gonna regret. You're gonna regret.
You're gonna regret.
The ramification is more cruel. It's more cruel.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I did not know this either.
Wow. So first 3 months like that? That's crazy.
So
And you have to burp them, otherwise they do projectile vomiting.
Oh.
It's not just vomiting.
Wait,
Oh
Alissa, did you learn that the hard way?
I mean,
she learned that the hard way.
no, I didn't need to learn it the hard way. I learned it the first day we got home, because my baby taught me, this is life, deal with it.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's why I said taking turns with a big thing. That I didn't know that, but there's just no way that one person or 2 people are going to do the job at the same time.
Yeah.
So when my baby was born, it was right in the middle of right at the beginning of the pandemic, so we didn't have any help at all. So for my husband and I, what we needed to do was just break down our schedules so that we can cater to her 3-hour cycles all the time. So back then what happened is that I would go to sleep after dinner, after baby goes to sleep around 7 o'clock at night, and wake up again at 2 a.m. to take to continue the next cycle, while my husband would be staying up till 12, and then to do the shift. Like, we have to sleep in shifts.
So someone's working second shift and third shift. That's what it sounds like.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. All right.
So
we're
wait,
gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Before we move on, how much did you actually sleep in that first 3 months? Like, how many hours per day?
5, 4.
Probably 4 or 5-ish, but everything you don't.
But it's always split up, right?
It's not.
It's split up. It's different than you sleep 4 hours straight.
So it's like naps. So it's like power naps.
Exactly.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that is a tough life. I'm so happy. Don't have a baby right now.
Don't say that too early, Rob.
I'm gonna get an au pair. I'm gonna get an au pair before my kid is born. That's what I'm gonna do.
Get as much help as you can. That would be my one advice.
All right, we're gonna segment out to to the extra funny emoji session. So if you have a story of a meme, this is where we discuss, share our funny thing. So who wants to kickstart off? Robert?
I will start off. We're gonna send links through the WhatsApp channel to you guys. I have this article which I saw today. So what it is this guy he's on trial. So the article says McDonald's robber demands chicken nuggets, has to accept breakfast food because it was still too early. So this guy's on trial, right? So what he did was he went in to McDonald's, said, "I'm robbing you guys. Give me all of the money in the drawer." And he demanded to have chicken nuggets. But it was like before, it was still breakfast time. So instead, they're like, we can't give you chicken nuggets. It's too early. So then they gave him like a double biscuit or whatever, like sausage biscuit. And
oh my God, that's so hilarious.
I was like, I saw this and I was like, I can't believe this. Like,
is that real? Jesus.
It's real. Yeah. This guy, he couldn't get he's robbing the place and couldn't get his chicken nuggets because it was too early.
The way you say it, I almost feel bad for the guy.
That is so crazy.
I mean, he found out firsthand that you can't go to McDonald's too early because it's only breakfast food.
I guess so.
He should have came a little later. Yeah.
All right. So for me, speaking of babies, so this is a funny picture of a baby. Going like so the title is going through my old photos and found one of my daughters plotting something. It's a picture of a baby like crossing the hand like almost like a mini me. Like,
oh.
Oh.
you know have you all seen Austin Power mini me? Like like how they crosses a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. He's scheming.
He's scheming. They're plotting.
That's a cute baby.
All right, so Lily, Alissa, do you have a funny story or meme or article you want to share? You have a funny story about your baby,
Mm-hmm.
We have funny story every day.
Give us your recent one. Give us your recent one that you shared.
The most recent one is I find out recently my daughter started to like demand on certain things. She will fake cry.
Well, she fakes cry.
Yeah, she fake cry. She'll be like, ha, ha, but if you look at her, there's like no tears. She just fake cry.
Wait, she learned that?
And the moment I pick her up, she'll be like, ha ha ha.
Oh
I got you. I got you.
Exactly.
She's like, I got you.
Oh my God, devious.
Yeah, she's becoming smart.
Yeah, watch out for this girl.
Right. So how long did it take you to catch that on?
I think it's like it's a weird thing for baby. Like there are certain skills.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden one day you woke up, they have this like skill. You don't even know where they learn because back then Emma hasn't started daycare yet.
Okay.
So I don't even know where she learned that. She just learned to. I think babies are really good at negotiating. I don't know why. As people growing up, we get worse at it. But baby are so good. They're so good at negotiating.
Gotcha. That's really funny though. That's a really good one.
Man.
How about you, Alissa? What have you learned about your kid?
What did I learn about my kid? So my daughter, she is super cautious. She's not walking yet. She'll still cross everywhere because deep down we tell ourselves it's because she's a very cautious person. She doesn't want to walk until she's fully ready.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, a lot of kids by this age is already walking. So we're not behind. We're just, along the curve. Anywho, but recently we found a way to trick her to walk is by giving food that she wants, but she can't have. So I ate brownie the other day and she can smell it. Smells really good, chocolate. And we just have it, in front of her. So now she can stand independently. So we have her stand independently at first. And then we start to, sit in front of her with a brownie in our hand and slowly starting back off.
Wow.
And she took her first nap.
Oh, that's awesome. So you baiting her in a sense.
Yeah, you tricked her into her first step.
Yeah, but that's it. Like after one step,
you might as well have a fishing rod holding the brownie. Hey, come over.
Yeah, you need a fishing rod in the back, and so it goes to the front. And
Let
so
me get some
always...
supply this weekend.
Send the video.
Okay.
That'd be so hilarious, though. For real, you do a video of that.
That's the way to do it. It's like,
well, and this is how my baby took first step.
Yeah, but that was it. There hasn't been second step yet because we finished the brownie. I think it's because we finished the brownie.
Imagine if you had a fishing rod behind the baby from the back, and then it goes over the head.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangling in front of them the whole time.
Need, just dangle it. It's
there's no way they're gonna just like drag it down and throw it somewhere else before you know it, or eat the brownie.
That's true. They're smarter than you think.
They are. They never do the things the way you think they would do.
Never underestimate a baby, right?
Exactly.
Never. So I just erased all my expectation. I gave her something. I was just like, let's see what she does with it.
Have you given them like calculus yet to like? You don't know if they'll be able to do it or not. We just give it to them. Maybe they'll be able to do it.
You know what? Emma's new favorite toy is my Texas BA2 calculator.
No way.
Whoa.
Wait. How'd you even find that in the first place? Did you just purposely just leave it out there? Is that what you did?
No, I just like, there was just like one day she opened one of the drawers that I didn't notice. And that's the first thing she could grab. The more I want to take it from her, the more she wants it.
Yeah. She's like, I need to grab this, Mom. Like, what are you trying?
I need to do some real calculations there.
Maybe she has games in the calculator like we all did.
Oh,
come on,
it could be the games. Like,
come on,
that
I had
screen time.
Yeah,
that's supposed to limit that screen time.
You know, listen, I'm guilty of that. I used to have games in my graphic calculator, so.
No, we all did. They were good games too.
Yeah. All right, so segment us. Okay, so we're gonna segment this a little bit more about in-laws. Okay, so I think Lily, you mentioned that your in-laws got stuck there for 10 months. I'm guessing, is it the same apartment you live in right now, or is this different apartment before?
That was actually my parents, so it's my husband's in-law.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh,
that was my parents. Yeah, that was my parents. They were here for like 10 months. I think initially it was okay, especially before the pandemic. Yep. They were really enjoying the baby being here.
Yep.
I had a pretty hard recovery because Alissa and Rob probably know this, like, because my baby was like past due, so I have to go to the hospital to do induction.
Gotcha.
And I had to, and she was like very heavy. She was like 8 pounds. So I had pretty hard recovery. But even though like things were hard, but it's like 4 of us taking care of one baby, so it's definitely easier than what Alissa was facing. But when the pandemic hit, my parents and my husband, they had pretty big, I would see, different view of how the pandemic would look like, because my husband kept saying it's just a flu. That pissed off my parents.
Oh, so they had different perspective on how.
Yes.
So they were butting heads.
Yes.
Oh.
They are at that. And then speaking of the one thing my husband refused to do, and like over all the years we were married, the one thing he refused to do is to use a disinfecting wipe to wipe down the groceries.
What?
Why?
He refused to do it.
He didn't want to kill the environment, you know?
Because he thinks it's insane. He thinks it's insane, especially like my parents were so nervous at one point that they would even wipe the veggies, then wash it. They had like, I think that's like the hardest part we have to deal with, because like everyone deals with pandemic in different ways.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But are these vegetables?
You're more careful.
Are these vegetables going to be cooked?
Yeah, like ever since the pandemic, my parents only eat cooked food, and they only eat home cooked food.
So do you need to wipe down cooked food? Because
you're just mocking me.
Aren't you? Isn't you like burning it off?
So moving on to that part. Okay, so your parents has been there for a while now after the baby, right? Month 3, month 4, like, have you guys starting to get a little like claustrophobic with each other a little bit? Like, I'm just wondering, like, was
you ever get tired of them?
Yeah, did you get tired of them? I was trying to sugarcoat a little bit.
I do. I'm not supposed to, but I do. I think the reason being I went to boarding school for high school, so I haven't really lived with my parents for more than 2 consecutive months for
A while.
I don't know how long. I went to boarding school when I was 14. So.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Wow. So you've been dependent for a while.
Yeah, so for a while, and I just went further and further away from them. Initially, I saw it was a good opportunity for us to rebound again.
Yeah.
Because we get to live with each other. That's how I saw it when the pandemic first started. Yeah, it's bad for everyone in the world. Everyone was suffering, but I thought it would be good for us to get to spend some time together. But it's just like because the propaganda, I think my parents saw a lot of news from mainland China, and
it's different.
They were. I know that things were like pretty bad in US back then, but it was not that bad. They were just like super worried. They refused to even go downstairs initially. I think my parents didn't go downstairs for probably a month and a half. They just don't want.
Go outside. They didn't go outside of.
No, they just don't go outside our apartment at all.
Oh wow.
Then my husband, I think he went to the grocery store. Because we keep just ordering from Whole Foods, so it's like a grocery delivery. Just like we were like out of eggs, I think one day, and my husband just went to the grocery store downstairs. My parents got really, really mad
at him because he went downstairs.
Yeah.
Did they wipe him with Clorox wipes?
My parents got really mad because he went to an indoor grocery store. My parents got really mad. Yeah.
But is there an outdoor grocery store? There's only
not really. It's only indoor.
Only the what's it called?
Unless you go to farmers market. They were shut down at that time, right? Farmers market.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's crazy though. So I mean, did it help with your sleep? Did they help? Did they help you sleep better?
But not really, because we don't want to burden my parents too much. So they only take care of
already. But they're there already.
Yeah, but we want them to get good rest, right? They don't have as much energy as we do.
That's true.
We don't have a lot, but still, they're like 24, 25 years older than ours. So I don't want to burden them too much. So we normally take care of the baby during night, especially first 3 months. That was mostly, to be honest, my husband, because I have to either feed the baby or pump every 3-4 hours.
That's true.
So my husband was taking care of the baby during night.
Gotcha.
Alissa, did you have your parents or like any family come to help
you out? Yeah.
No, but we made a decision to move closer to my in-laws when baby is around 6 months, and just because we're like, hey, don't think the thing is going to be over very soon, and why do we live in a lonely island in a tiny apartment in San Francisco?
Well, you have more space.
Yeah, we can have more space and be closer to family, because at that point, like, I still don't know what's the long-term effect that's going to be on these COVID babies, but they rarely see the outside world. They really rarely see people other than parents and pediatricians. So we made a decision to move closer to my in-laws, and I think that was the best decision. We could be closer to them, you know.
When you say closer, are you down the street from them, across from them?
Yeah, fairly close.
Okay.
But not together. So that's a huge difference.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not living in the same room.
You could have stayed, like, you could have gone over to Lily and have her parents also take care of your kid.
She offered that, you know,
I told her to be my neighbor.
No, Lily was very nice. She offered that, you know, her parents could cook for us when my kid was just first born. That was very touching. Nice. I really appreciate it.
So obviously right now you're in Vegas, right? You said before. So so like now, do you miss San Francisco? I'm just wondering.
I do. It's well, first of all, San Francisco is great because there is a lot of people who are similar to me and my husband, and I know a lot of young parents with young babies there. So it was a very great community. I know a lot of moms out there, but here in Vegas, we just hang out with family and a couple of neighbors, and that's about it.
So you haven't met anybody that has a similar age range with your baby, anything like that at all yet so far?
Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
It's got to be hard anyways with COVID and all the pandemic stuff. So like going to meet new people, like I wouldn't trust.
But Nevada's open. Nevada's open, you know.
I know. Baby's first party, baby's first pool party. When is that happening?
Yeah, when's that happening? You can hire a DJ there.
Go to Bellagio or whatever.
That's true. You could go to Bellagio, rent a suite out for the baby.
You know, I gotta say, We did take her out there once because we just couldn't take it ourselves. So we took her to MGM Park and went to Italy, and we didn't go into any casinos but you know, she doesn't know what's going on, but it was new experience for her. There's so many stores, so many people, and you know, like
yeah, that's gotta be fun, especially she doesn't see anyone with everything going on.
So my friend just took the kids first time to Disney World, and it's a year and a half old. To be honest with you, I don't know how much the kid will remember, but the kids get in for free at that age. So
that's true.
And so so they purposely did it for the pictures, and you know, and because Disney right now is only reservations only, so therefore the park's kind of half empty. So I'm like, that's pretty smart for pictures, I guess. You know, you don't have to deal with it, but also at the same time, like how much, I guess, that experience a kid will remember out of that. That's why. So, but yeah.
I think it's more for the parents, less for the kids. They won't remember anything. Well, they shouldn't.
That's what a lot of like the first few years is, right? Like the first birthdays and like all those pictures of like the baby with how many months they are. That's all like for the parents, not for not for the kids.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting because I feel like every parent, you know, has different philosophy in a sense, right? And so like, because I know another parents who found out that they took their baby to Disney World, I'm like, wow, I would never take my kid outside right now. You know what I mean? Like, but so I know every parent's different. They're more, you know, more careful, you know, but in general, like I feel like I think both of you guys said something similar. That I think the baby needs to have some social aspect of that, especially as they're growing up, and having that encounter, because I think that affects mental health more than COVID can affect. So, which makes sense. So yeah. So
have your babies gone to daycare yet?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
I'm at in daycare.
Oh, you're in daycare right now.
Yeah.
When did you introduce the daycare to your baby?
I think we sent her daycare about 2 months ago.
Gotcha. And, so wait, what your parents thought about that?
My parents already left, so.
Question. I do have a question. Did they know that you were sending her to daycare?
Yes. Did they know?
They didn't know before that.
Oh, okay.
We only told them 2 weeks later.
Okay, and how was the reaction?
Well, they're not here, right? So.
You're like, oh, sorry, it's breaking up. I can't hear you.
So now, what make you take a leap of faith to do that? I'm just wondering.
So one thing is because we kind of feel she's getting really bored, keep playing with one or both of us.
Yeah.
Another trigger is like she's really scared by the smallest thing. Like one day, I was going to my mother-in-law's apartment and I just rang the doorbell. She was like so scared and she cried for like 10 minutes.
Oh wow!
Of the doorbell.
Because people don't come to visit. Nobody ever rang our doorbell.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Or maybe the first time a baby encounters a dog or a cat, right? That can also impact them because they've never seen.
Exactly. Yeah. Or even like when she saw like other kids, because she normally see adults, right? When she first saw other kids, she would get so scared.
She'd be
little
scared
people.
Or shy.
She's like little
scared.
people. These are so different.
Wow,
She would cry.
Those are real people my height.
Those little people. Why are these people so little?
Why are you the same height as I am?
Yeah.
I know, right? So how about you, Alissa? Have your baby gone to daycare yet?
No, but we're considering that options right now.
Gotcha. So when you get maybe the process of finding a daycare, like what do you guys think about? Like how do they handle how many kids per day? How does it because especially during COVID time, right? Like what do you guys consider more precautious about?
Definitely the cautions that they take to ensure that baby doesn't get exposed to potential danger viruses. But I think most daycares are doing a really great job. At the end of the day, what I really care about is whether the teacher in the classroom, are they kind and nice, and do they truly care about a kid? That's the number one thing that I care about, and this is regardless of COVID.
So that would trump first, no matter what.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that the same thing for you, Lily?
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. I sent Emma to family care.
What is that?
What's family care?
What's family care?
It's like a smaller scale. It's like people have daycare at their home.
It's like a nanny that's taking care of more than one.
But is
kind
of
that, like nanny share in their own home.
Is that a little bit less safe or more safe? I'm just trying to understand from a facility standpoint.
It depends on how do you see this, right? Because I feel it's safer because it's that a skill wise smaller. It's not like there are like certain daycare that's like pretty big. Normally one class has like 12, 14 kids. In the family care, normally like one class they could take, I think at most 7 to 8 kids.
Okay.
The family care Emma goes to right now, I think only has like 6 kids. Normally like 2 or 3 children.
So it's very, very small.
Yeah.
Is it more expensive?
No, I think it's a little bit cheaper than the bigger ones. But not that different. Yeah.
Is there like a website review that people can look at this to say, hey, this is the review for these daycare, or how does it work? Like, how do you guys find that?
There's really not a standard. I know Alissa used to have a spreadsheet to track down all the daycares. Yeah.
Oh, I did.
She did really thorough research. But that was before the pandemic. We picked the one that was in our neighborhood because I think as parents sometimes you need to trust your instincts. We walked by that daycare a couple of times. They have like 3 different branches, and every time I saw kids going out of that daycare, they're happy. I don't see crankiness, and I see parents being comfortable putting their kids in the daycare. And I did a kind of unscheduled tour because I just knocked on their door around like 6 o'clock ish, and I was asking, do you mind I take a look? Do you have open spots? And the teacher was really kind. She was so kind to Emma because Emma had a hard time adjusting to daycare in the first couple of days. I think she was holding her even when she was like drinking milk. We didn't even do that at home. Okay. If you want to drink, you drink on your high chair. We don't hold you and drink. So that makes me feel really comfortable that they care for her.
So that little attention to detail, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying, because the reason why, I mean, I know some parents have different criteria because in terms of how they view the daycare. One, I think probably like, I think one you mentioned, like the attention to detail for certain things, how they handle the kids. The other pieces of it is like what kind of, I guess, structure they have that for those babies in there, and how big is the daycare for each of the teacher, right? Certain daycare may have 12 kids versus 6 kids. So I think, is that why you went to the family daycare instead, because it's smaller? Did that impact that decision or no?
Definitely, it's a smaller and it's very close to our place.
Yeah.
So it just like initially before we send her to daycare, at least I don't know if you have the same mindset. Like before we send her to daycare, I was like, okay, I really want her to be close by. So if I want to visit, I can visit, but I never visit.
Gotcha.
And you're not supposed to, because you're gonna give them a wrong impression.
Yeah. I was recently on a daycare tour, and one little boy saw the back of me.
Yeah.
And thought that I was his mom, and he started crying nonstop. He's not even Asian. Like he just saw my hair, and he was on the floor crying. And they told me that he's not, like, he usually doesn't cry. He's not a crier. I feel terrible that I was there to interrupt his peaceful little day.
Oh my God, Alissa!
Kids are like that.
What'd you do to the poor baby? You know.
Wow.
I had to run away from that scene. Yeah.
Did you steal his toy? Is that what you did?
Right, so
you eat his fried chicken.
Ate his fried chicken. That probably it's possible.
Maybe.
That's probably what happened, you know.
Very likely that's what happened.
That is funny though. No, that's pretty. I mean, I guess, you know, the whole process, it takes a little bit of level of trust, but you see other parents being happy and reacting to that. That's probably why it kind of made you at ease, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Like for me, I don't know. Like it's just, especially if I've ever had a kid, I guess. I don't know how we'll react to it.
You're thinking about daycares before you even have a kid.
I know, right?
Actually, that's totally a thing.
I heard there's a waiting list for some daycare, to be honest. There's a long
waiting list. So
tell them about it.
Yeah,
so
tell us about it. Yeah.
Funny thing is, like, so we heard that in San Francisco, daycare waiting lists, especially for very young babies, are like at least 1 year long. So I wasn't crazy. I didn't start looking before. I shouldn't say those people. sorry, cross that out. I'm not calling those people crazy. I'm not super, on top of things. So I didn't start looking until baby was already in my tummy. And yes, there's a long waiting list. And the funny thing is, like, before the baby was out, like when I went to daycare tour, I care about how new does the daycare look, like how nice are the facilities, like, is the location convenient or whatnot. But after you had the baby, you're familiar with the baby, like all you care about is like, is the baby happy, rather than, oh, are they doing Montessori? Are they adopting the newest, methodology? Are they having the newest toy? Like I couldn't care any less about those things. It was all about whether those people care for my baby and if the babies are coming out happy.
What's the average wait list?
There was one really good one in the city that I got on. It's a Montessori daycare. I still haven't heard back.
So what is the Montessori? So for those who don't know what it is, sorry.
I might have. So Montessori is a concept that was developed by Dr. Montessori. So it was originally developed for kids who have like some, I think, emotional or cognitive delay, I believe. And that Montessori method really encouraged kids to learn and play on their own pace, rather than kind of having like, so like in Montessori school, it always happens like different kids of different age can mingle in the same class. Like it all depends on which level they're on, rather than they're following a standard schedule that, at a certain age you should do certain things.
Gotcha. So it's more about kind of going at their own pace.
Yeah. Different people might have different takes on Montessori, but that's at least my understanding.
Gotcha.
And how long was the wait list for it? Oh, you said they haven't called you back yet. That's what you said.
It has been a year and a half. I haven't heard back.
A year and a half.
Wow.
So Mike, I think we need to sign up for daycare.
I think so too. I agree. I
haven't found the girl. I haven't even, like that.
It's okay.
I think that timeline is what we need.
Listen, worst case scenario, if it comes to your turn, you could give up your turn and move up a year for another year.
Exactly, right? Like I feel like that's...
It's like waiting for a Tesla.
Wait, if we're at the beginning of the list, can we just let the next people skip until it's time? Yeah. So we hold the front
first spot all the time. All the time.
I think that's what we gotta do, Mike.
So wait, have you guys registered your kids for school yet, for like pre-K, anything like that, for that waiting list because of that situation, or not yet?
I registered Emma for they do have pre-K. But
how old do you go into pre-K? 3?
I think 3, 3-ish. But they do have like, the reason I register is because it's a new Montessori school. It's downstairs. Yeah. It's just literally downstairs.
Everything's downstairs.
That makes it
nice.
And
they have a toddler community, so they do accept kids from 18 months old to 3 years old. And it's a Spanish immersion school, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good though. So technically, like, so it's not really necessarily like a school because it meets that age range, right? So for your baby. So let me ask you this: like, when will you register for your kid for actually like elementary school? Like, at what age you supposed to register?
College?
Well, not college.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm surviving this stage right now. I'm still struggling to find a daycare. So
One step at a time. One step at a time, right?
All right, I'm gonna sign up my kids for college right now before.
I want to sign my name up my kids for peak. What's called for daycare right now. You know, 2 years ahead of time.
I was thinking about this like list and letting people pass. Like, could we just sign up for all these daycares and then just start selling spots?
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say that, Rob.
I did that for Tesla, by the way. So you know.
There you go. We can do this for daycares too.
I would say one thing that does come up is will. I don't know if any of you guys had will yet. I don't have one yet, but I'm thinking about having one because apparently that's the thing that you want to consider when you have kids. Like, what happens if, God forbid, something really, really bad happens to you? What's going to happen to the kid? Like, that's actually a whole new concept that just dawned on me that I need to have a will.
Do you guys have godparents that you'll send?
Yeah, and legal guardian too, right? Because our parents, I don't know if they're willing to take care of the kids, but I don't know if they're capable or if it's the best for the kid.
Just sign their name in it. It's fine. They'll take care of it.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with you in the will thing. I think the reason why I have a will is because legal shield. It's like, hey, you need to put a will as a membership. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a will. I haven't updated that in the past 10 years, so whatever.
I don't think you're supposed to update it that often, though, right?
Yeah, I know. but you gain assets over the time, you know.
Every single day. You're off my list. You're back on.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this episode with some venting, some ranting. You want to let go of your chest, okay? Something that you can keep it. You could be angry, you could be happy, whatever it is. So Robert, you want to start kicking off for your event?
Oh, my vent. Oh,
yeah.
So my vent is that I hate Apple products more than anything
don't.
in the life. We use MacBooks at work, and then I got AirPods for them, and out of nowhere my AirPods decided to start like opening up Apple Music on my work computer in the middle of the day.
How does that work?
What kind of music?
No, it just opens up the app over all my other stuff.
Wait, I didn't know the AirPod does that. How does it do that?
I don't know, because it's stupid, and I don't use Apple Music. I don't want music on. Like, I'm not looking for that. So, like, it just opens up. Like, I think it's when you like, if you like tap it, like the ears, then it'll open up Apple Music or something. And I'm like,
but you can turn that feature off though.
No, you can't.
Really?
Like, there's no way to do it. I've been searching on the internet. If anybody out there knows how to turn off this feature where if you click the button on your AirPod, it will not open up Apple Music, I would love it. I might give you $100, right?
There you go.
Like it's
how you thought about going
annoying.
Have you ever thought about going to support the apple.com and speak to somebody in chat there in the Genius Bar?
Speak to some Genius Bar guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go
there. They'll tell you how to do that.
He's a genius himself. He's gonna figure it out.
I've Googled it for hours at work. Like,
dude, you Google for Apple product? That's not
man.
right.
Of course, right? Seriously.
What am I supposed to do? Siri it or something? I don't know. Siri's worse than Google.
No, but for real, go to the support the Apple website. And you can speak to somebody online. There, it's faster.
I just wish there was an easy way to turn it off. There should be an easy way to turn it off.
First of all, I can't even turn it on. I don't know how to turn that on. Like,
I have a solution for you, Rob. I have an older version of iPod. I'll switch it with you.
An iPod?
AirPod, yeah, older version of AirPods.
Oh,
yeah.
an AirPod.
All right, AirPod.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's the version. I think it's just that Apple has this stupid thing where if you click on it, it'll open up Apple Music when I don't want it, and there's no way to turn that feature off.
Do you think that could be a bug? Have you thought about forgetting the device and reconnecting the Bluetooth in it? Or no?
Yes, I've turned it off and turned it back on multiple times. I restarted my computer. I've un-Bluetoothed it and re-Bluetoothed it, and I don't know, man. Like this, it's Apple stuff sucks. It's just not intuitive. Like there's no easy way to do anything. I hate it.
I don't know. I haven't had that issue. I have an AirPod right now in my ear, so
Yeah, but do you have a MacBook that you have open right now?
No, I don't have.
So if you click on that button, will it turn on Apple Music for you? Probably on your phone.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do that.
I don't know, but it does it. It does it for me on my MacBook, and I fucking hate it. It's the worst.
All right, so Alissa, how about you? What's your rant or vent?
Okay, guys, are we in United States or United Kingdom? So today I went to Walgreens to get my vaccine shots. And I walk past the magazine aisle. Every single magazine I see is about the UK royalty. Like, why? Just why? Like,
what's his name died?
Who?
Right. Prince Philip. Right, but then again, all the covers are
Wasn't that a month ago though?
No, it was a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think a couple weeks ago. But anyways, it was either the Prince William and his wife Kate, or Meghan Markle and her husband Prince Harry. Like it was like there were, I kid you not, 7 magazines, all British royalties. I'm like, what is going on? Like so personally, I think
you hate them.
I don't hate them. I think I do watch The Crown on Netflix, and I think it's a great show. But I don't know. well, it's like, which country do I live in now? Like, do people really care that much about it? British royalties?
Maybe life is telling you to read more about their lives. You know? Start trying to tell you.
We're telling you to move to UK.
Oh, maybe.
Please don't.
Would you rather have the royal family, or would you rather have Kardashians on there? Because I feel like that's our version. Family. That's our version of the royal family.
That is true in the United States. Yeah. Think about
that. All right.
She took her vent back.
Yeah, like,
I'm taking my vent back.
I'd rather be watching the royal family. I think it's a good idea.
Actually, that's not bad.
Took it back.
Yeah.
So how about you, Lily? What's your vent?
I think I just need to vent about myself because we're recently doing spring cleaning because we live in a tiny apartment. We're just like, you know what? Let's just.
So it's easy, right? So it's easy. Tiny apartment, easy cleaning, right?
No, not really. The hardest part is we have to throw things or donate things or give things to other people that we don't use, right? So we have a golden rule. Let's like just ditch the things we haven't used for a year. We have the boxes.
I do that too. So I have a way to do that with my coat hanger with my clothes. If that hanger hasn't turned from one side to the other side at least once, so like I have a hook going inward like this, and then by the end of the year, if that hanger hook's still like that, I'm donating that shirt because I used it the whole year.
If hook's like this, so whenever you use it, you flip it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
When I put it back, so therefore I already used it once already, at least once.
So you
do you ever accidentally put the other way?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, do you take all your clothes and flip them?
January 1st, I take all my clothes out of the closet and then I flip them.
Wow, that is dedication right there.
What?
I don't do that.
It's not. I mean, it's not that much clothes.
What if it's like a suit? Like you might not use suits every day.
I donate it.
So you throw away suits that you don't use in a year?
I donate it or sell it. Either or.
I have like 12 suits and I don't ever wear suits.
So I donate. I mean, okay, there is an exception for me. I have a suit that I really like that I don't use every day. So I do have that.
You don't use every year.
Every year, yeah. So I do have one exception for that piece. So
okay, all right.
Same thing for snowboarding. You know what I mean? I need snowboard last year. Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, same exact concept. You know.
But the problem is, I don't like to throw out. I don't like to throw out things. I never throw out things.
Okay, so go ahead, Lily. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your event. So you said that you spring cleaning. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't like to throw out things, and we used to live in pretty big places, and we just moved to smaller and smaller spaces because we moved to Bay Area. Yeah. Every time we move, we have to throw out things, and now we have baby, we have to throw out more things. It's annoying enough for me.
You say throwing out, you actually donate.
It's just like throwing out of my place. I either give it to my neighbors or there are things like like it's Robert doesn't want my stuff.
Yeah, I haven't even got asked to take anything.
So
I don't even know, Lily.
Okay. Next time, if I have some blouse or shirts, I haven't never wear. I'm gonna ask you.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe it looks good on me. You know.
Maybe it looks good on you.
So is your vent more like you get frustrated? You don't want to throw this away? Is it
exactly? And what's more annoying is the 1 second you throw it away, the next week I'll be like, darn, I wish I had it because I couldn't use it here.
So you regret it.
Exactly.
I have things like that too, where I have like boxes of wires, just like wires and stuff, where I'm like, oh, I've had this.
I don't need it.
I've had 12 HDMI cables for like 10 years. I never used it, and as soon as I like throw it out or donate it or do something with
your current one doesn't work.
It breaks. I need a new one. I gotta buy it on Amazon. It's annoying.
That's crazy. Oh my god. All right, so my event is work related. I don't care if my work coworker hears this, but so
what's his name?
I'm not. No, it's not about my coworker. It's actually more like so. So for example, we have this quote unquote director or partner, whatever it is. There's like this expectation of certain things, right? However, if certain things doesn't get done that direction, they get mad. But however, they don't really give you enough details to, hey, this has to be done this level of detail, this direction, right? And then when they do give you that level of detail direction, it's confusing as hell. Okay. And because my team is the first guinea pig for everything to do the deliverables. We're getting yelled at all the time, like, and then the other teams learns from us. So I'm to a point that I'm very fed up to that. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't care anymore if you yell at me. I don't care if you're my team. I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna do it because your direction was not clear at all. And it was just not. It comes to a point where the way you name files, it was that frustrating. But they made it so confusing that we did it wrong. I'm like, how can you make instruction so confusing to make us name it incorrectly? Even though the client don't care.
Clients don't care. It's just
clients don't care. It's all internal stuff.
Wow.
But it's like it comes to a point like these little things adds up that doesn't add value to the work. It adds more time wasted, and not only that, it frustrates the team.
That's true.
Right? So it wasn't one thing at a time, but it was just a bunch of things that added up. And today for me is my broken point. I was like, you know what? I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
Wait, you walked out? You're done?
No, I'm
You
done.
can't actually walk out now. Everybody's working from home.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm just.
You gotta go to the office so you can walk out.
I'm just to a point that I'm like, wow, cool.
I don't
Good
care.
For you.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's bad. Is that bad though? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has different ways to cope with it.
Yeah.
Am
I in the wrong though? Am I in the wrong to feel this way? How about that? Am I in the wrong?
I don't think so. I don't think you're wrong.
It depends on what's really going on, because like you gave us like your side of it, or like and maybe the other side is like I gave them very clear instructions and they just mess it up every time, and this affects this and that.
So because our team always do the deliverable first, so we're always the guinea pig to get QA for our work, right?
Yeah.
So we get called out for everything, no matter what. And it's gonna happen with how good we do it, how badly we do it, right? So it just happens, you know what I mean? And then the director always makes an example out of us in front of the whole internal team.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
how about this, Mike?
Yeah.
How about this, Mike? Next time he or she give you instruction, you just inside of you think of 3 different level solutions: the bad one, the okay one, and the good one. You give him the bad one first. See what he thinks. Then you give him the medium one, then the good one.
Wow, Lily, is this what you do at work? Because I get this from you.
It's like manage people's expectation, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not even about managing the expectation. It's more like it's to a point that I don't have time to go sometimes like to try to fix this little thing that doesn't add value. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I have so much deliverables to worry about. I have so much other means to worry about, and like my team has to focus on that, right? Listen, I get about formatting. That's totally fine because that's presentation stuff. I get that, okay? But when it comes down to like that little detail of the file name of how their instruction were not clear how they name certain thing,
then
and I was like,
yeah.
Do you ask the why though?
Yes, we clarified that on meeting call 3 times. We had meetings about this 3 times.
About file name?
About the file name thing. It was back-to-back daily calls that different team was confused too, not just my team.
Wow.
And but we got called out for it because we did the deliver first.
Oh my God.
I
think we had the same issue when we first go remote. We had one meeting and then people explained one thing. Then I feel like 4 people had 4 different understanding. Then later on we decided, you know what? Everyone, especially I feel like people working in tech, everyone hates meeting minutes, right? Nobody wants to take it.
Yep.
Then after we go remote, we realize that's really important because after every meeting, we send out an email saying, this is a summary of the meeting. If you have any objections or any edits, say it out now.
Yeah.
For example, just say, in this meeting, we agree this file name is going to call it 1, 2, 3. If you think it's going to be 3, 2, 4, just say it now, or just keep it with you. Yeah, exactly. Just keep it with yourself.
So to that point, I sent emails out for approval for my documentation.
God.
Okay, no, get this. My client approved it. Okay,
but your internal team just don't like. didn't
care. They're like, okay, I don't care. The client approved that the file name is incorrect. I'm like,
oh my god!
But
the client approved it already. What do you want me to do?
God. Oh my god!
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's very little things like that doesn't add value to the work. That to me, that's just frustrating. But I just stopped caring. I guess. I think to me, I guess that's a bad thing. I don't know.
I don't know if it's bad.
It's good for your health.
It's good for your health.
It's good for
your mental health.
Good for your health, yes.
All right. Anyway, so enough about that rant. So listen, we appreciate having you on. Thank you for staying on so late. I know you guys are busy. You don't sleep at all, and we appreciate you guys sharing your story, your experience with us. When Robert and I have kids, we're definitely going to give you a call. We're going to speed dial, right?
Yeah,
Robert?
we're going to call you guys instead of the doctors. Is this a problem?
We're gonna tell you the same thing the pediatrician tell us. Just give it a couple more days, closely monitor. If things get worse, call us again.
That's a message. That's a standard message.
They have that saved so they can auto send it.
They have a workflow, right? They have a workflow. Yeah. Are they having fever? Are they seem grumpy or uncomfortable or irritable? Then like usual. If not, just keep monitoring for another week. If things got worse, just call us.
You can make an app for this.
Suddenly, call 911.
You can make an app for this. Like
yeah,
this is the checklist of things. You just go through it. This is our $1 million idea, guys.
Oh my god, that's pretty funny though. That standard messaging. All right, ladies, you like to pimp anything now? Like to promote anything? And welcome to where people can find you.
Lily, what's your Instagram account?
Yeah,
Lily, what's your Instagram?
I don't know what's my Instagram account.
Do you have one for Emma?
No, I don't have one for Emma. So I'm a little weird on that. I don't post any personal information in social media.
Okay.
The only social media I'm using is I think Facebook and WeChat and WhatsApp. Okay, but I don't really use WeChat and WhatsApp as social media. I just like connect with my friends and my family. Yeah. Exactly. The only thing I ever post anything is Facebook. We have an HOA group. That's where we complain about nothing, like whose dog peed in the courtyard again. Other than that, I don't post anything in social media.
So wait, Alissa, do you have a baby? Does your baby have an IG?
Yeah, she has an IG. She has a Gmail. She's a
Gmail.
But
website.
Ever since, but it's private, and I only open it to people that I actually know. And ever since I posted her picture on my Instagram account, I just slashed my Instagram followers by a bunch. Like there are a bunch of randos that I don't know who they are, and I just cut them out. And so I feel safe posting baby pit.
I think that's like 90% of people on my Instagram followers.
So I know that I know a parent who made their baby model, and they have some cool pictures of the babies, and it's like literally like amazing pictures. Like I'm like wow, and like so obviously like any kind of events that they do, they take amazing crazy pictures because I think the dad is a photographer also. So
that's nice.
Yeah, and so like they're like that baby's a model, like literally like in that IG. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know. I'm mixed about that. I'm mixed about it.
It has 11,000 followers.
Jeez. I know Alissa wants to do that.
So on one hand, I do because like go make sure go start saving up for your college,
Yeah.
But then again, like when I actually one time I did start doing that because there is like a brand of smoothie that she really liked. I was like, hey, why not send a couple photos to them, tag them, and see what come out. Nothing came out, but when I did that, I was like, no, actually, I don't want to expose my kids to so many viewers out there. Like, I don't want to make her post public because who knows? There could be creepy people out there.
Why don't you create like a burner Instagram and everything that's different name, different everything, but it's just.
But my kid's photo is still going to be out there, and I don't feel comfortable.
I guess they don't know who it is. I think that's what we're saying. That's why.
But still, like it's her.
There's a possibility. Always a possibility. You never know.
Yeah, but 11,000 followers though. I mean, I don't know for a baby. I think the baby's 2 years old now. So.
2 years old.
Kind of want to follow. So send me the.
All right.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you. Yeah. All right. Well, that's about it. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I appreciate your time, though. Robert, you want to?
And all for everybody watching out there on YouTube, we want you to smash that like button. We want you to follow. We want you to send us some comments and tell us what you want to hear from us. Tell us any baby stories you guys have. Like me and Mike know nothing about babies, so anything you guys say will probably be like, okay, that sounds about right. Yeah. And then if you're listening on like Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anything, you guys can leave us a rating there. Leave us some comments, and we can get back to you on anything that you have questions on. And if you want to come on, you could give us a comment too, and we could bring you onto the podcast. And if you want to hear any of our other podcasts, you can go to our website, www.gfOThoughts.com.
Well, appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, have a good one. Easy.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Gluten-Free Organic Thoughts podcast. As always, we appreciate you. If you are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and leave us a comment. If you are listening to us, please leave us your honest review on your preferred podcast listening platform. And as always, you can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GFOThoughts. Drop a comment and give us some feedback. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, see you then.